Okay, we should be live.
We should
coming
be.
through?
Oh boy.
Hey, Chris is here. Whoops, hang on, my chat is hidden.
Oh, no.
See that he says something?
You should fix it, Ian. You should
fix
the chat.
Yeah. There we go. Chat is fixed. Chris is here.
Welcome, Chris.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, Casey.
Welcome to FixTheChat.com.
FixTheChat.com.
Ian and Kyle play your system.
Incorrectly. Well,
I even fixed the copy.
Whoa, wait a minute. This isn't FixTheCopy.com.
No, but I had been set up to stream some Diablo 3 this week. I had all sorts of copy related to streaming Diablo 3. And I remembered I needed to adjust it as I was walking out the door to go to work this morning. So I went back inside and fixed up our copy. So it does say we're playing Versus System. Diablo 3, of course, a good game that I wanted to stream that the expansion came out for this week.
Yay!
And I didn't actually end up streaming it, and I might not end up streaming it now. I wanted to stream it. The expansion has a new class in it. I wanted to stream it, but it's not in a... What do you call it? Season. It's not in a season right now. So there's no point in streaming or playing, really.
Well, not no point.
Sure.
Not the point you wanted.
Right. It would be... Oh,
it would feel hollow.
Casey's saying we should get the URL. Yeah, we could.
Which URL?
I'm worried, Casey. FixTheChat.com. I'm worried, Casey, because I actually own a URL, or I did at one point, and I lost access to the email I registered it with, so I don't actually own it anymore.
Huh.
Like my credit card expired, and I couldn't fix it because I couldn't get access to the email that I used to register it. So that was a sad story.
That is sad. That was a short, sad story. At least for us, the way we experienced it, it happened in a few sentences.
That's true.
For you, it was a lifetime.
So, Diablo 3 was a bust. What else going on? Last week I played some Dungeonmans.
Dungeonmans.
While you were unavailable.
I was unavailable.
You
mean
and
me?
I died.
You died in Dungeonmans?
Dungeonmans, yes. I was trying to do a one-man's run. Show off that it was possible, and I did die.
And you did not show it off.
I did not show it off. Well, you know, in my defense, streaming does take a little bit of your concentration.
It does,
so I wasn't playing perfectly. I made a mistake, and in that game, a very, very small mistake can be very costly, as is the case in most roguelikes.
Indeed.
I died in 2 turns, really. One mistake, 2 turns, death.
Well, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles.
So I had actually asked in the comments of the YouTube video and in the Facebook post I made about that stream what I should do about it next. The next time you're not available to play cards, I usually stream video games.
Yeah.
So there's kind of 4 options from here.
Yeah.
And Chris already gave me his input on this, and I appreciate that, Chris. Nobody else has, though. So you can get input, Kyle, and you can also have input, Casey.
Oh boy, input.
So 4 options. Option number 1 is I could simply move on to a different... Don't show off your koja. That's gross.
Well, I'm just trying to... It's falling apart, you see.
What are you eating?
A koja.
Option 1. I can move on to a completely different game. We can count Dungeonmans as a loss. I think I would feel bad about that. It doesn't feel right to give up on it. Option number 2. And this is the option Chris likes.
You give up on it.
I could continue playing using the academy I created for the one-man's playthrough. Meaning I would be playing the roguelite version of the game rather than the roguelite, light versus like version of the game.
Totally different.
And I accept doing that. That's a reasonable thing to do. It will be much easier. Might mean I'm less likely to screw it up. Option number 3, I could restart a new academy and play offline probably and try to get to approximately the same point in the stream so I could finish the one-man's play with Standard Academy, show off the rest of that.
Sorry, first option was give up.
Give up. No.
Second option, pick up where you left off, thus belittling the rogue-like and submitting to rogue-lite. 3 is try again from scratch.
Try again from scratch. Well, you have to know a little bit about the game. You haven't been following, so the distinction between options 3 and 4 is going to be subtle. So option 3 is I start a new academy, basically as though I had started the stream over. play through it offline. I can do that in a week, probably. Well, I'm very busy at work, but at some point in the future, I can do that. I think you're going to be available for a while, right? Do you have any conflicts coming up?
I don't.
It's not going to be a soon thing. So I play through offline approximately where I was before. It will be completely different, of course, but I could show like, hey, we got to this point. I can play from this point to the end of the game, not make any stupid mistakes, and that's the one-man's run.
Right.
So option 4 is there's also a mode called Iron Man's mode. And Iron Man's mode is harder than the normal mode, and it also enforces the one-man's run mechanic. So I could restart and play in Iron Man's mode. If I did that, I'd probably want to stream the whole thing. But it would be a subtly different experience, and then I could show how that mode works and do the one-man's run in that mode, possibly. That mode would not give me a second chance, though.
Right. Though, admittedly, you're talking about giving up your second chance anyway. With option 3. Like, you're giving up the second chance on your original playthrough.
Well, none of these options involve precluding any of the prior options from being selected. Like, nothing is a terminal choice.
Sure. Let's ask this question. And Casey's got some feedback too, but I want to ask this question.
Yeah, something popped up in front of our chat.
Oh,
I want to read Casey's feedback.
Fix the chat.
Fix the chat, yeah.
But before you read that, I just want to ask this question, which is, how much time of actual gameplay is it to get up to the point where you horribly perished?
It varies per selection, right?
Sure. Was it a degree of randomness?
It was probably about 7 hours of gameplay from start to where I was.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
2 videos, 2.5 hours, 1 video, an hour and a half. What's that? That's 6.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So
your estimate was reasonable.
Yeah. It will go much faster if I were to use the Rogue Light option, if I were to resume from the existing academy. I think I could probably do it in 2 or 3.
Well, I would say there are 2 pieces of this. This coming, of course, from a place of infinite wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
The first of these is the logical course after hitting a part in a game that is too difficult, which causes you into such a challenging decision as you now face. The logical course.
If I may object to your use of terminologies, it's not that it was too difficult. I've done a one-man's run several times before.
Well, sure. But I think it's clear from a viewer perspective. I'm not accusing the game, per se, of being too difficult, but the logical course is to make the game harder. So, in my view, the best way to rise to the occasion is to attempt the Iron Man's, pardon me. But I will add to this, there's another factor to consider, which is oftentimes when people casually tune in to a popular stream such as yours, they aren't tuning in to watch the person win. They're tuning in to watch them fail and have that be entertaining. Now, this doesn't mean you play down, because the play must be genuine, and that is perhaps even more important. But the odds of painful and agonizing failure also increase with the 4th option, thus catering to the desirable audience.
That's true. Kyle wants me to suffer.
So, I'm just speaking, not as a friend, but as a follower. A fan, if you will. So,
well, I'll believe that when you show up to any of my streams.
touche.
So, Casey, I'm not going to randomly pick another roguelike to play every time I die. Although that's an amusing suggestion.
That is novel. Boy, that would be...
So if you're welcome to choose from the 4 options that I listed, or abstain or whatever.
I mean, to be fair, he picked option 1. To a degree.
That's true. That's true.
It's a
that
variant,
is kind of a vote for option 1.
Or more specific.
And we're really resolving this issue here
Yeah.
by my presenting 4 options and the 3 people involved in the discussion each selecting a different one.
You clearly know which option not to pick. I mean, I think that's a given. Because between the 3 of us, if we don't pick an option, you know that's a terrible choice.
Oh, boy.
So think about how much easier your choice just got.
Chris, you know the options if you would log into Facebook. You responded to the options already, rather than reiterate for the third or fourth time, because they are quite difficult to describe. The quick and dirty version would be option 1, play a different game. Option 2, resume the game using the academy I already have, playing the Rogue Light version. Option 3, start over in standard mode, play off stream to about the same point, finish the game from there. And option 4 would be start over in Iron Man's mode, play the game from the beginning in Iron Man's mode, and try to complete the game. And that is Kyle's choice, according to the stream. Yeah, Chris likes number 2. Number 2 is okay with me.
Number 2 is an alright choice. The problem...
I was all ready to move on to a different game, and then I looked at the YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, this feels like it's incomplete. I need to finish this game.
Yeah, I think, like, with the Iron Man option, I feel like that presents a potential new option, which is, should you fail in Iron Man's mode, at least you could feel like you went down swinging. So that if you did not complete Iron Man's mode, but you had that all on stream, that journey would be fully captured. I think there's something a little bit strange about playing offline to catch up.
Sure.
To the point. In a sense that I'm sure you'd have fun doing it, but part of the value of a stream.
Well, I don't have to do it
sharing the
offline
journey.
either.
Sure,
but
sure.
The content of videos 1 through 3 would be identical or very close to the contents of videos.
But the commentary
3 through 6.
I mean, keep in mind, people watch.
No, the commentary would be. Well, some of it would be similar because I'd be encountering the same things and making the same quips about them. I'm nothing if not consistent. But yeah.
Well, maybe not. I mean, it's a roguelike. So
I'd have less to say. It would be even harder for me.
So maybe that's the real Iron Man. The real Iron Man starts there.
So yeah, Casey, just to wrap up the thoughts on Dungeonmans, I don't know how close you were paying attention to when I lost. We were puzzled on the stream as to what exactly happened to my character, and what turns out happened is I had cast a spell that created a damage over time effect in a square, and then the enemy in the square swapped positions with me. And I didn't realize I'd swapped positions with the enemy, so 2 turns in the effect of my own spell finished me off. That's what that was.
That's pretty awesome. If you've got to go, at least it's because you killed yourself with a slow ticking dot you didn't realize you were in.
Yep. Wasn't slow. In fact, it was ironic because at that moment, and only during that moment, was another person in the chat room. Like, it literally 5 seconds before that happened, someone else showed up and started talking, and then I died. And the person who started talking was actually familiar with Dungeonmans a little bit, and said, wow, I've never seen that happen before, I don't know what killed you.
That's pretty awesome. And that makes it all worth it.
So that's the Dungeonman story.
It's a good story.
Yep.
In other news, I was crunching. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Ian's going to be crunching.
I have been crunching. I'm probably going to crunch a little more. I don't think it's going to affect our streaming.
Okay.
I'm going to try to prevent it from affecting our streaming, but you never know. That's games development for you. I will be done in about a month. 6 weeks tops. Supposed to be 2 weeks. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair. I respect your realism. See, that's one of the traits I always find endearing about engineers. They're the reality check. I enjoy that.
So, got anything else to talk about? Board games. Ashes is shipped. Should arrive this week, as is the expansion for Legendary. Also arrived this week.
What's the next expansion?
X-Men.
Oh, X-Men.
It's the
X-Men?
largest. Yes, just the one. No, X-Men.
Well, that is a character.
It is a character, yes.
I could not be sure.
X-Men. And it's the largest expansion to date, so Jesus Christ. I have too many cards.
One of these days, well, it's funny because I was going to say one of these days you should show on stream your Legendary box with everything in it. And I'm like, that's too much work to carry up.
It is a lot of work. Yeah, we carry a lot of stuff too because we have a laptop and my backpack because I'm coming from the office and my don't like to leave it in the car around Emeryville. And
With that said, your legendary sorting is legendary.
it's true. It's true. Maybe we will someday. Maybe we'll do... We have threatened to. Maybe we'll play it on stream someday.
Whoa.
Well, it's probably actually quite difficult to show off, other than the fact that there's a whole ton of it in a big box. Like, the labels and stuff would be very difficult to show off on the stream.
Yeah. I mean, I would not object, as co-host of this stream, if you spent the 5 minutes to do it, to explain it, because it's
Sure.
comprehensive. And it's also particularly awe-inspiring to see the voluminousness, the volume of the box, and how much of that percentage is full. What's the word I'm looking for? Is it voluminousness?
Voluminous is the word, yes.
Voluminousness, okay.
Or voluminousness? Yeah, I guess that's how it would be. I don't know.
For some reason,
I don't know how to
really-
speak.
Well, clearly I know.
Yeah.
Tonight on File and E and Master the English Language. What would you like to play some versus system then?
Yep. Let's do that.
I think I've
I'm gonna cross some stuff out on my sheet.
yeah.
Oh, my sheet got all wrinkled. What happened?
And this is called a bag sort, right? That's the name of this.
The algorithm is called bag sort. Yes. This is just a sheet of paper with the results of a bag sort printed on it, because that was the easiest way for me to do it without writing an app, like a phone app or something. And ain't nobody got time for that,
Ain't
especially
nobody
now
got time
when
for
I'm
that.
crunching.
I'm actually going to be doing. It's funny. We're going to start using that type of award system in the game that I work on in a very specific
sort?
area, a bag sort. And it's very happy because it's one of those things where I'm like, "What's the word for this?" Oh, yeah, it's bag sort, and I only really remembered that because we just started using it on our stream. So that was novel. All right.
So I guess I'm gonna pick one of your decks.
Yeah, that works for
Where's
me.
our life? We should get that.
Oh, we should. I do have my dice here.
Okay. I feel like I'm running a little slow tonight. Bear with me,
It's all right.
folks.
It's Friday. You've been pushing. I've been pushing. Yeah. That's how it is. Make your selection.
middle deck.
The middle deck is the double A.
Okay.
Okay, double A. Casey, what do you think of that? Did you see the new Hero Spotlight for Heroes of the Storm? Because it was pretty amazing. I'm very excited for a support character, and that is uncommon. Greatest alt ever. Oh my god, it was so good. Yeah, Chris, it's you know what? I don't want to talk about it now, knowing you haven't seen it. But yeah, Stukov, look it up. 4 minutes, well worth your time. His first alt is maybe the new greatest alt in the game. I will not spoil.
Kyle described it to me. It sounds pretty great.
It's so good.
All right, I faced my cards for the benefit of Chris.
Yes, and only Chris.
And I will shuffle them for the benefit of you
Only me.
and me.
Nope. What? Did you just?
And then you will cut them for the benefit of me.
Only you.
Can make this world seem right.
That was beautiful. Though I'm not familiar with that song, or I'd just chime right in.
I'm sure you're not familiar.
Me too. You might be more sure than I.
For you. Playing a lot of black decks back to back. Black sleeved decks with black sleeves.
Way did that sound racist at the last second?
Which don't come across very well on the stream, which is kind of entertaining.
Yep.
Our viewers don't know how many resources I have. Usually it's whatever turn it is.
Would you care to roll off? You want me to do the honors?
I noticed I've always been starting the roll off, so why don't you go ahead and
All right,
start the
I'll
roll-off.
take the initiative.
And you know why you should? Here's what we didn't discuss. Last time we played, it was 2 weeks ago.
So horrible.
I beat you so badly.
So
I was
bad.
pretty sure you were going to quit versus system
It was
forever.
so bad. It was so bad. Did you get every game that night?
No, I think you did actually.
Might have
win
gotten
one,
one, but
the
the ones I didn't
the middle
win
two
were real bad.
Really
Okay.
fantastic draws on my part, and
I am going to go the inner die. I did lose.
you have lost.
That's
All right.
That's okay.
So I will be going evens. Evens.
Evens.
And I'm going to keep these. These are reasonable.
I have mulled again. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
What say you, Mr. Odds?
Mr. Odds does not have a 1-drop at this precise moment that he wishes to play.
Aha! Very well. Mr. Evans will play Corrin. Corrin's power is activate target attacker with the version Deep 6 gets +X attack this attack, where X is the number of face down resources I control.
I will pass.
Corrin will hit you for 1.
Noes. What is happening? Deck, you are not being appropriate. Stop it. Now it is Mr. Evans' turn. This is great. It's like a game of Clue.
I will be recruiting. Dark Lantern. Dark Lantern's power is, when Dark Lantern comes into play, target a character you control. I will choose Dark Lantern. While that character has the Darkseid's elite affiliation and is attacking this turn, it cannot be stunned. You don't have a 2-drop. Quit acting like you do.
I don't have a 2-drop.
I'm going to attack you for 4.
That's fine.
Now, we're not having a repeat of last week, are we?
I'll know in 2 cards. Maybe. I don't have a 3-drop.
Oh my gosh.
It's strange.
It's bad.
Do you have your 3-drop?
I do not have a 3-drop, no. I don't know if that's going to matter.
My next 2 cards will determine whether or not this is an insta-cassette. There's still a chance it won't be, but I need something in these next 2 cards.
You know who I'm fighting. You know who I'm playing.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
I'll be recruiting Jafar. Jafar's power is I may exhaust 2 characters I control with the version Deep 6 to gain 1 resource point, which I may only use to recruit characters with the version Deep 6. I may only do this during my recruit step.
Yeah, the arm. It's all about the arm. It's so good.
And I assume you're going to pass, in which case I will attack you for 8.
Wow. Alright, come on that card. Or one of a subset of cards. Okay.
Done?
We can just reset and play this again.
Okay.
That was you don't even know what the hell deck I'm playing.
That's true. You did not reveal anything.
If you would like to change, you're welcome to do so, but that was silly.
I'll give him another shot, although that was a good draw, and these guys
I'm sorry to waste a good draw.
pretty not good at that. So.
Well, I showed you. My draw was so bad. Oh my god, that was so bad.
You should stop that.
I should stop that. I hope I'm not going to enter one of those long-term slumps. That happened to you once. It was real bad for like 3 months.
Well, I don't think it was 3 months, but it was an egregiously long period of time.
Yep. So good. Yeah, Casey, I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those characters that...
Oh no, I will now reface my deck.
Yep, go ahead.
For the benefit of
I can talk to Casey while you reface.
How on earth do I do this? I'm not even sure.
It's a gift. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of those characters that has like a very strong but quiet effect. When you combine healings and dots and zone silences, and yes, it's a channel, but you get to control the space so well and do a lot of quiet things that are going to have profound effects. So I could be wrong. We'll have to see, but I think this is going to be probably a quietly very strong character.
No, it's like you're speaking another language.
I may have been.
Ba weep, prana weep, mini bomb.
Prana weep. Alright. I'm going to act like, while I've been shuffling, I've secretly shuffled some drops under 5 into this deck. And then I will then
that would be a
draw them.
violation of the rules, I believe.
That's not true. Now, if I took it out so I was under 60 cards,
You're not supposed to be adding cards to your deck while you're shuffling, right? Presumably.
Well, in tournament play.
Kyle, this is serious business right here.
Damn it. Okay. I'm going to draw these 4 cards.
Why don't you roll the dice again?
Okay. I will choose inner.
Tied.
That's peculiar. I will choose inner. I did win. I was not prepared for that. I won a thing. I will go... Is this a stack? No, it's not. I will go odds.
This might be a bad start. But maybe that's okay.
I'm going to keep because I have the fear in me.
Well, maybe I'm doing what you did.
Oh. Well, I did go odds. I don't have a one.
Excellent. I have Corrin,
Corrin.
whom I may activate to give target Darkseid's elite attacker with the version Deep 6 plus X attack this attack, where X is the number of face-down resources I control.
Legit.
Corrin will hit you for 1.
1 it is. This is a weird, unfamiliar situation that I don't understand.
You're making me look like a liar here, Dick. I'm going to recruit Dark Lantern.
What?
When Dark Lantern comes into play, target a character with a Darkseid's elite affiliation. While that character has the Darkseid's elite affiliation, and is attacking this turn cannot be stunned. I will choose Dark Lantern.
Pro plays, bro. I have a 2-drop.
What?
It's an Atlantean Warriors.
Oh, goodness.
I can recruit
Nihilus.
them from my KO'd pile while I control the Submariner, which I don't. Also, whenever they enter the KO'd pile from play, they're removed from the game.
I know what card you were looking for.
I was looking for multiple cards,
Sure,
actually,
sure.
but yes.
I will team attack you for 4.
Yeah, that's still going to work. Take the damage. He is activate to give any character attack or just an attacker?
Attackers? Oh, yeah. I can actually do more. I should activate...
Yeah,
no, he can only target Deep 6 characters. That's why.
I see.
is a
Target
team
attacker with... Yeah, okay. Very good. I'm gonna try to hit you for 3.
It's going to work.
Cool. For those watching at home, I attacked through Curran. Curran?
Ah.
Yeah.
Karen.
Okay. I see what you did that. It's my initiative. I'm going to recruit the Seekers. When the Seekers enter play, rally for a card with negative zone, or the negative zone symbol, in its name, affiliation, or game text. Holy shit, that worked. It worked. I rallied successfully with the Seekers. This is unthinkable. They're just a 5/4 with flight and range. But mostly guns.
I will not be recruiting a 3-drop at this time.
Intriguing. I'm not familiar with that character's Dota alt. How does that one work, Casey? So because you did not recruit a 3-drop, I'm going to attack your 1-drop with the Seekers for 5.
Okay. I'll take 5. I'm going to pass.
I am going to flip Invasion Plans. Play only during your attack step. To play, exhaust a character you control to draw 2 cards. I'll draw this card and the subsequent card.
I am going to recover crit.
Before you do that, and you may recover him momentarily, but I will flip Negative Zone. To flip, discard a card. And I will discard... That's odd. I will discard the Seekers. At the start of the recovery phase, draw a card if an opponent controls more stunned characters than you do. And I will do that.
Trying to go poorly.
My draw is very odd.
I hope it's bad. Mine's very bad.
This turn will not be so great, but it's weird.
Excellent. If I wanted you to miss one drop,
This would be the one.
when I'm playing poorly with that deck,
Yeah.
it is 4.
Very true. So it's your initiative.
It is my initiative. Isn't that
fun.
amazing?
I wouldn't go all the way to amazing.
I'm going to recruit. Desaad
Yes.
and goalie.
Oh, I do hate goalie.
Desaad's power is I may activate and target stunned character's controller loses endurance equal to that character's cost. Goalie's power is whenever goalie becomes stunned, each of your opponents loses 1 endurance for each face-down resource he controls.
Let's see. Right. I'm going to recruit the Atlantean Warriors into my concealed area. We remember what they do, which is they're concealed. And then I'm going to recruit Screet. Screet is a 2/3 with flight.
It is annoying.
Screet is kind of annoying. Whenever Screet becomes stunned while visible, move her to your hidden area, and target opponent loses 4 endurance. It will form like this. These guys do have range, so there's no reason not to have them in my support row. Weenie War! Oh, that sounds bad. Is pure damage the same thing as true damage, I assume? Yeah, it only deals damage when you move. Oh. That's very interesting. So the idea is you cast it on someone, and then if you move, you deal damage to them, or if they move, they take damage, encouraging them to stand still. That is the question. You should attack Screet. She's just screeting it up. Her and her giant elf ears and mysterious mohawk-like hair.
I think the correct
space
play
wings.
is... I'm going to play Airborne Assault. Characters I control have flight this turn. And characters my opponents control get +1 attack while attacking this turn. I'm sorry.
Something was not correct
That
with
is
those
dead
series of
wrong.
sentences. Yes, yes.
Characters I control flight this turn. Also, characters I control get +1 attack while attacking this turn.
Okay. It does open up your options, to be sure. It's +1 attack while attacking. Sorry, I know you just read it. Attack while attacking. Okay.
And I'm going to attack Seekers with goalie. And I'm going to activate Corin to boost his attack to 5.
Yeah, it's a good play. Seekers with goalie. Yeah. Is annoying. I think that's going to just work. And I'm going to take a point of breakthrough. Lame. Right. Yep, that'll work. I'm going to take 1 point of breakthrough, take 4 damage for that, and I'm stunned.
I'll take an additional 2 from goalie's power, and I will
2 or 3? Look, my
it's your
turn. Okay.
face down. Yeah, that's it for now.
It's reasonable. So Screet is going to attack Desaad, I guess.
Right. So 2 things I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to exhaust Dark Lantern to play Apocalyptian Hospitality.
Oh, hospitality.
As an additional cost to play Apocalyptic Hospitality, exhaust a character you control, target stunned character an opponent controls cannot be recovered or KO'd this turn. If you control a Darkseid's elite character, that character's controller loses endurance equal to that character's cost.
Cannot be recovered or KO'd this turn?
Yep.
And I take 3 damage.
Yep.
Okay. That is the first of 2 things.
And then I'm going to activate Decide to ping you for the cost of a stunned character you control.
Moderately
And
annoying.
I'm going to be stunned, and that's really sad, and I don't even stun you back or anything.
Well, you would have taken 4 more damage if you stunned me back, though I suppose I would have lost the character. It's back to you. Have you
Must pass. No.
So
I don't need visible characters to defeat you or something.
That is my logic. This Atlantean Warriors is going to attack Kira. And I'm also going to use the other one to play another Invasion Plans.
I will take 3.
What on earth is occurring in this hand of cards? Because it's weird. That's just weird. There's not another way to describe that. I'm also going to flip another negative zone. This is a different one, which I'll read. I must discard a card to play it, and I will discard
The life one, I'm going to be really sad.
the life one.
Aw.
At the start of the recovery phase, gain 1 endurance for each stunned opposing character.
If only I didn't have
play.
only bunches of useless weenies to recruit.
So far, that's been my MO, but my weenies are slightly larger. So I gain 3 life and draw 1 card. I cannot recover them. They just sit there. Okay, I see.
Boy, I wish I had initiative.
Boy, I'm glad you don't.
That was a fun song.
It was a very good song. Very good song. What in the hell is this draw doing? Because it's weird. It's really, really weird and strange, and it makes me grumpy. Well, yeah. I think it's got to be the Centurions. I will recruit the Centurions.
That is a weird draw.
It's a very strange draw. The Centurions say at the start of the combat phase, if negative zone is not in play, I must discard a card. They're 9/5. Their other property is that they can't be stunned while attacking.
Boy, I wish that wasn't exactly what you needed to defeat my play.
Yeah, that all sounds really cool, Casey. That's a very interesting mechanic. You move, you die. Great risk-reward built into that. Complicated thought process for it, but interesting all the same. I like it. Yeah, and I see what you're saying. If you combine that with new guy whose name escapes me again, General Sagar, that guy, that would be hilarious. Hit him with that ult, push him across the map, watch as he goes squish. Totes
Man,
combo.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Man.
The manliest.
Well, I'm going to recruit Darkseid. I think I put him right there next to Decide. Darkseid's power is whenever Darkseid stuns a character, its controller loses 1 endurance for each face-down resource he controls.
Huh. Yep.
Which would be 1 in your case.
It would be 1.
Ooh.
Also, Ian does a dance. For anyone who was wondering, when he did that ooh sound, there was a dance that went with it. So I'm going to open this turn by exhausting the Atlantean Warriors to play invasion plans.
You have a lot of invasion
I have
plans.
way too many invasion
So many plans over there.
I'm planning. I'm planning.
Well, you know what they say, the best laid plans.
Of Atlantean warriors and interdimensional beings work.
Ah, that's exactly what they say. That exactly.
So, I'm going to attack Darkseid, and I'm going to do it with two
Yeah,
characters
two.
because I have to be sure. We're going to include the Centurions, who cannot be stunned, and Screet, who will deal you 4 damage in the attack if she is stunned. So many cards, and they're not what I want them to be. It's so weird.
I think I've got to attempt to deal the damage to the Centurions.
Yep. That is a course of action that you can take. So the Centurions cannot be stunned while attacking, and thus just chillax.
I will pass.
Yep. I am going to use the Atlantean Warriors to attack Darkseid. And I'm going to power up once,
Fascinating.
thus making me a 4/3.
I'm going to do it. Excuse me. I'm going to exhaust him to ping you for 3.
Indeed.
And then I'm going to take 4.
Indeed.
Man. Man, oh man. That's quite a point spread I need to make up.
Oh yeah, 27. A lot of good board position for
Do your
Sears.
math.
It is 2.
Oh dear. Go my car.
Okay, bye, honey. Love you.
I'm going to keep Darkseid, whose power has
That's a good
no
call.
effect now.
But he's big.
He is a little big.
I'm going to recover the Seekers. We're nearing the point where Screet is actually going to become a liability here, which I'm not psyched about. It is the problem with the Centurions, too, is they're also kind of a defensive liability. And I do draw 1 card from this one, because you had 1 more
Correct.
stunt character than I did. Interesting.
Now
I have
that's
so
interesting.
many cards. Oh my
I may
goodness.
do it that way, which is not the way I want to do it. Is that right? This will work.
My draw is so strange. It's hilarious, and I'm glad it's not useless. The first draw was so bad.
This will work.
I'm sorry your draw is not a little bit better. Although it could turn on a
This
dime.
is not relevant,
As is the case with Darkseid.
and this is not irrelevant. That's so much more fun, though. I think I should do that. Let me run some math here.
Run that man.
Yeah, it's fun. I need to do it. It will make you uncomfortable.
Aw.
I'm going to recruit Mangle.
Mangle.
Yep.
Oh.
Mangle's power is cosmic. He also has a boost, which I'm not able to pay yet. Mangle's power is while I control another Revenge Squad character, whenever Mangle stuns a character, that character's controller loses endurance equal to that character's cost.
Interesting.
I will then also play Dimensional Deal to choose up to 2 team affiliations from among characters you control. Ongoing crossover with those affiliations, and Revenge Squad defenders in my front row get +1 attack. I will then equip both Darkseid and Mangle with Beta Clubs.
Oh my.
Beta Clubs say, equip only to a Darkseid's elite character. When an equipped character stuns a defender, that character's controller loses additional endurance equal to that character's cost.
Well, I don't like that.
So for those of you playing at home, were I to team attack with both Darkseid and Mangle, I would take 4x endurance loss.
Boy, that sure is a lot.
It is a lot.
A lot more than I would like. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
What are the odds you've got another card to give you flight? It's not 0, and that bothers me. How do I deal with that? So I have some annoying things that I could do. Play is not a bad play. Oh. Man, that's so much much extra
I
beats.
think I neglected to play a resource.
Yes, you should. I encourage it even. Because I'm incorrigible. Do I do that? That's kind of weird, but it might be the right play. And that other play is less satisfying. This deck is so strange. I am going to read this card. Okay, yeah. So I have to do it that way. It's a little obnoxious, and I will take some damage, but it will be less painful. I'm going to play Dr. Doom from my hand. And by that I mean recruit him from my hand.
Yes.
So I was half right. When Dr. Doom enters play, draw a card. When Dr. Doom leaves play outside of the recovery phase, turn a plot twist you control face down. I don't think I've ever triggered that. I don't think I have a way to trigger that. I think you would have to trigger that. Then, he said vehemently, I am going to do a thing. I
believe you.
I recruited Dr. Doom. That's the first thing that I did. My turn is going to be so stupid. This turn actually may just end up being stupid. So we may enter the combat phase. And I am going to play Sleeper Cells. To play, exhaust 3 characters you control to ready a character or exhaust a character. Going to exhaust these 3 to exhaust Mangle. That did. Still think I'm going to take a bunch of damage, but it will be slightly less agonizing. Actually, significantly less agonizing. And I'll force you to make some choices. It's funny, I feel like this deck either gets totally picked apart or it somehow does successfully build up a lot of characters and I can play Sleeper Cells.
That's a tough choice, sir.
Pros and cons. Well, I think you're...
If I do not do dramatic things and draw the right stuff, you are still very much in this. So I must put you in every tight spot I can afford to do so. But my draw has been very, very odd. And not bad. Decent to good, but odd.
I think I tried to team attack Dr. Doom.
I did expect that outcome. I think there is not that I can do. So, That being the case, I will attempt to deal the damage to Darkseid. And otherwise accept. Take 12.
It's funny, you eyeballed Lantern as you said that, and it made me hear Lantern, even though that's not what you said, and I was like, what an odd choice.
So I also take 1 for this.
You take an
correct?
extra 1 for that if you do not flip it. That's
Which I will
correct.
not. So I'll take 13. 22. Well, so now I have to make a decision about whether or not I try to get Mangle with just the Centurions, or I include Screet. If I include Screet, the odds are really, really high that will succeed. If I do not, the odds are still decent. I'm 1 over, but it is not certain. And the consequence for failure will be that you have your counter next turn, which means they'll need to prioritize Mangle. 22. I am at 22. I'm going to try it with 1. We'll see. I'm going to attack Mangle for 9. And I'll play Invasion Flames with Screech.
Jesus!
My draw is weird.
I think the irony means I ditched Mangle. That's so strange. And there were 2. I was rushing ahead. I had 2 guys.
I see. Yes, thank you. 4 and draw 1.
So rare that you have to pay attention to that sort of thing.
It is. That's very true. And we play pretty quickly.
Well, that's interesting.
That's very interesting.
I think I have lost this game. Oh, that's too bad. This never works. Not ever.
It worked once.
It did work once.
I think. Did this one? I guess you couldn't have played it last stream. It is my initiative. I'm going to recruit. We're at 16. I am going to recruit. Oh man, do I do that? That's funny. I'm going to start by recruiting the Curs. The Curs are a 1-drop that I can recruit for free from my KO'd pile by discarding a card if I control a Nihilus. Otherwise, they're just a 2/0. Then I'm going to recruit the Submariner.
Pushing your dudes off stream.
Well, I guess, stack them maybe. I guess I can put them back here. The Submariner has a boost. I can exhaust X characters I control to give him X counters. I will exhaust the Atlantean Warriors, the Curs, and at least Screet. The question is, do I also include the Seekers, or is that too much of a risk?
I'm surprised by Screet. You have not been using her offensively recently.
That's true.
For this game, anyway.
The Seekers or not. 5 potential damage or an extra counter. Right now he would be a 13-12. You are likely to have a 7-drop Darkseid. You don't currently have flight on anyone except your concealed character. No, that's the bonus damage deck. I don't remember what they do on 7. Maybe they have a Darkseid. If they don't have a Darkseid, what does that mean? I guess I'm going to throw the Seekers in there. So So I will give myself Submariner 5 counters. So he's at 14, 13.
That means, are you done?
Yes.
It means I'm very likely to concede. But I'm going to recruit Batman.
Sure.
Whenever Batman stuns a defender, that defender's controller loses endurance equal to that character's cost, and I'm going to play the hookup. To play, choose 2 different team affiliations among characters you control. Ongoing crossover the team affiliations. Discard a Gotham Knights character card to draw a card.
Doesn't change the game. Set a 7-drop.
We're going to keep going.
That's terrifying. I don't like that. I do not like that.
No, actually, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I concede.
So, I sort of have a cool thing. Can I show the cool thing? It's novel.
Man, yeah, fucking... This was a very disappointing game because you did a double fizzle on the one turn that I get to do anything.
What were the one fizzle? I mean, Sleeper Cells was one fizzle, right?
Well, yeah, and you have the Centurions who have ridiculous attack and also can't be stunned.
That's interesting.
So I could not do anything. I think this is a bad matchup, and I
It
think
could
this
be.
is a very common matchup, actually.
Is it really?
I think so.
Thanks, Fate. Well, it was not. I mean, to be fair, the first game the draw was crazy, and you won because I had to concede. I actually had the Centurions. I just didn't have a negative zone on the first game.
Do the Centurions require a negative zone?
They don't, but if I don't have a negative zone, I have to discard a card every turn. And I missed 1, 2, and 3. Like, I missed 1, 2, and 3, and would have to discard. And I don't even think I had a 5 drop. I think I had like 6s and 7s. The first draw was not pretty. Missing 1, 2, and 3, and then having 4, but not a negative zone. That would have been a predicament.
Well, let's do better.
Let's do better. Let's do better.
That was cruel. You're getting me back for last week, I suppose.
Well, I'm sorry? Or,
You should be.
Or take that? I don't know.
I think you should be sorry.
Okay,
I
fair
think
enough.
sorry is appropriate. I unfaced my cards again. I am got a knack for it.
That's true. That's true. Chris has the kryptonite of that deck, I think. I think the last time you played that deck, I think it worked on me, or I had to concede.
Definitely did not. You may have had to concede. This deck has worked on you exactly once, and it was about 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
probably.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, this deck wins, but it wins when you concede on turn 3 or whatever.
Sure.
And that's the only reason.
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't count if, like, my draw is staggeringly dreadful.
The secret was, on turn 6, were I able to get the team attack, were you not able to fizzle it? I attack Darkseid, it's 24, you're at like 36 or
Yeah.
something. If you included, and I hoped you would, if you included Screet in your next attack, I won. I had enough plot twists to deal you extra damage when I stun a character while defending
Oh,
to
interesting.
finish you off.
That's kind of hilarious. So the reason you were thwarted was because I kept drawing invasion plans, and I needed a character to use it.
Well, in part, and of course that makes Darkseid less useful. And
Right.
some of my attack boosts is all well less useful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad in this matchup.
Well, and I mean, a fair number of decks do play off of having face-up resources, to be sure. But I just happen to have ones that I could use along the way. And Invasion Plans is a very interesting card because I can only play it during my attack step, which I like from a balance perspective because even though I must exhaust, I get to draw 2 cards, which is pretty potent. But the fact I can only use it on my attack step means I'm really giving something up. I can't do it on a character you're attacking, which is always the best time to exhaust a character if you can. So when I get ahead in characters with this deck and I'm drawing Invasion Plans,
Well,
that's
your
when I get to
landing
use it.
warriors are not particularly useful in order to Screet once she's
Just
hidden.
totally,
and-
totally. Well, the deck is built a little bit to make use of Invasion Plans for sure. Like the Atlantean Warriors are the ones. This one is the S deck.
All right, so now we must choose.
Hmm.
The next dest on my list, and by dest I of course mean deck, is the Outsiders.
Hmm.
Are we keeping the Outsiders in the rotation. The last time I played them,
Well,
I did not enjoy it very much.
we could try them against not this deck.
Right.
So I would say the option is we either have me switch decks or you skip to the next deck and we come back to Outsiders when...
I'm not sure. I don't think I want to follow up a game like that with an Outsiders game.
Fair enough. So why don't you just skip to a different deck, but don't cross them out. We'll just say go right to the next one. And in a week or two, when we're feeling up to it, I'll pick the specific deck to contend with them.
If we do...
Which is not a hard counter, mind you, just a deck that might have a chance.
If we do permanently remove the Outsiders, I will need to re-roll this column.
Yep.
Or regenerate.
I accept. Is it less random to just cross out the Outsiders from each selection?
The reason we cannot do that is because part of the generation logic is that the first deck in a set is not the same as the last deck in the previous set. So removing Outsiders
Right.
may violate that rule in some cases.
Right, I understand. It's fair. Yeah, he did. I mean, S decks, Chris said
I
this-
only have 4,
yeah,
so they come around
counting
quick.
the Outsiders.
Counting the Outsiders.
Counting
I
the
have 4.
Outsiders.
So they would come around really quick.
I gave you the whole Marvel Legends set. You could make tons of S decks. Tons of terrible, terrible, boring S decks.
Well, I already have a terrible boring S deck. That's the problem. Right?
Oh, that's right. You played that one last time. That was the one, the nobody stands next to each other, I think. It's just the most. That was one of the soul-crushing ones. I just couldn't do anything.
Oh yeah, that was a deck I played last week.
Yeah.
No, I just meant Outsiders. Outsiders
Oh,
is
okay.
not.
I see.
I don't believe Outsiders is appealing in the wow, my deck is ridiculously powerful
Right.
kind of way, but it's not appealing in the I had to do anything to get there kind of way.
Yeah, I think it's tempting to say with a team attack deck that it's going to be very technical. But the issue is you just always attack with everyone and always use all of their powers.
It's
There's
a
no-
little technical, but
Sure.
once you, as you observed, there's a threshold you hit, and you can hit it pretty early, where it's just unfightable.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like a good draw to start, and it kind of shaped up to something not so good. So we'll see what happens.
Did you roll?
No, because it is not my role.
Those are winner rolls. I will go the outer die this time. That did avail me. I will go. Let's go odds with this one. This is an odds deck.
Okay.
I do have a 1-drop. I feel like it's been a while. It used to be a joke, and I think I haven't done that in a while. So this is Valerie Cooper. When Valerie Cooper enters play, rally for a character with an activated power. Also, she's a 1/2 with range.
This is not backup. It is backup. It's not Rally Avengers.
That character did have an activated power.
I don't have a 1-drop to play at this time. That I choose. Real subtle.
Oh, that's all right. I was
Okay.
confused. I'll take you for 1.
I'll take 1. Now, that'll come into play in a moment here. I had considered, this is something to talk about, I may violate the spirit of a deck. You've reminded me, see how much
Violate the
I
spirit.
can talk about it. So I have a concept deck.
That's what they call spectral harassment, sir.
Sure. I have a concept deck. Anyway, I'll be recruiting Terraman. Terraman gets 1/1 for each ongoing plot twist I control.
Lord.
I have a concept deck that I like, and the concept is fully realized, and it works pretty poorly. And there are 2 characters I can replace in the deck that will augment, but not exactly match. Like they are well suited to play with the concept, the theme of the deck, but they aren't an exact match for the theme of the deck. But they will make it more effective, and I've been noodling as to whether that's a good adjustment to make. Or not.
This deck in particular?
No.
Different deck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to recruit Forge. Forge has Energize. He also has
Energize.
Activate. Put a 1/1 counter on another character you control. Energize, for those who have forgotten, is whenever they defend, ready them. That can be done after the attack is declared. Or at the moment they become a defender, so that I can do it twice, potentially. You do, however, have flight and range, so I suppose I will form like this.
I'm going to attack Valerie Cooper.
What? I'll give her 1/1 counter. Make you flip some stuff. See what you got.
I will reveal that I have an Evil Star's Evil Clutches.
Evil Stars and
Ongoing.
Evil Clutches.
Return a face-down resource you control to owner's hand. Choose a character an opponent controls. That character loses flight this turn. You may put a card from your hand face down into your resource row.
Stupid card.
Use this power only once a turn.
So you remove flight from someone. Oh, and then it's ongoing. So
I haven't done anything. I just flipped it.
right, but that makes him
Makes
plus
him
1/1.
1/1 bigger.
Right. So I'm going to flip Captive Audience. Target character gets +1 attack this turn. I'm going to choose Valerie Cooper. Boost! Exhaust a character you control. If Captive Audience is in your resource row, turn it face down. So now I get the counter step.
I will reveal that I have Toy Soldiers. Ongoing, while I control more characters than each other player, Revenge Squad's attackers I control get +1/+1. Multiple Revenge Squads.
Yeah, okay, that'll work. So your attack is 4, my defense is 3. I'll take 2. It's a lot of playing around that 2-drop attack and my 1-drop is fun. Interesting.
That's never works.
Yep. That card is not useful in this circumstance. What an odd card to not have be useful. It is my initiative. I am going to recruit Richter. Richter has Activate. Gain 1 endurance for each character in play with an activated power, which is
2. Oh,
2.
it includes mine, I
It,
suppose.
it does include
That's
yours.
interesting.
And I will form. I guess I'll form like this.
It's a 2-drop. You underdropped.
I did.
Didn't mean to, I'm going to assume.
Didn't mean to. I didn't. I may or may not have meant to. Depends on how you interpret mean to, I suppose.
Be careful how I do this.
True.
It's tricky. I'm going to recruit Lex Luthor.
Oh my. He does weird stuff.
He's very strange.
I'm ready.
He never works.
It's true.
His power is the version President Luthor. His power is, if you would draw a card during the draw phase, skip that draw instead. At the start of the draw phase, put the top X cards of your deck into your hand, where X is the number of ongoing plot twists you control. Put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck.
Interesting. So past turn 4, you can actually get more than 2 cards. Whoa.
Yep. On turn 3, he's deck cycle. On turn 4, he's accelerated draw with deck cycle.
And by that you mean on
That's-
turn 4, he's accelerated, he's cycle, and on turn 5, he's
Is that right?
Because this is turn 3.
Right. So next turn. Oh yes, you're right. You're right. Which would be.
I got this.
Yeah, I figured it out. Math is hard.
However, unfortunately for me, you actually have a 2-drop that is as big as your 3-drop, and I had to recruit a 2-drop. So you are not in a bad position here.
That's my hope.
Yeah, it's a pretty good hope. Terra Man is big.
He's big.
Which unfortunately means I need to go at him with basically everything, which is kind of annoying. Is there any way around that? Not any way that I like. So then what's my alternative? Alternative is... I guess I'll do it with these two. I'm going to attack with these two here. So my attack right now ties you.
And Valerie Cooper has no ability.
Correct?
And
Richter is
Richter is
active.
energized for and activate to draw gain.
Okay, he
life.
does not have Energize, huh? Forge is the one with Energize.
Oh, fascinating.
So I kind of understand, because life gain on Energize on a low drop is nutty.
Well, I think I've got to stun Richter.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I will take 2.
I will also take 2.
Next, I will exhaust President Luthor.
And
As
I'll-
an additional cost to play Death of Superman, exhaust a Revenge Squad character you control. KO target stunned character.
Oh my.
Ongoing, whenever a stunned character an opponent controls is put into the KO'd pile during the combat phase, that opponent reveals his... Oh, this is stupid. Reveals his hand and discards a card with the same name as that character. Each card.
I do not have any Richters in my hand.
What? I hate that power.
It's stupid. That's
It's for the KO. It's in here for the KO.
So this is
just
removed
KO.
from game or KO? Moved by Richter.
KO, yes.
I'm going to give Valerie Cooper a counter.
Nope.
Not ecstatic about that.
At the start of the draw phase, I'm going to put the top 3 cards of my deck into my hand,
That's real good.
and the card from my hand on the bottom of my deck.
Real good.
And then I'm going to draw 2 cards. Oh, but I skipped that.
Yup, that is true on all fronts. Is your initiative as well?
It is my initiative.
As well.
Fancy. I'm going to recruit Metallo.
Metallo.
Metallo has a vengeance power. Whenever Metallo becomes stunned, target opponent
That sentence is just going downhill, man.
loses 1 endurance for each ongoing plot twist I control.
Oh boy.
I also
Yeah,
have
I
played
can't
a
believe
resource,
you
and the
did that.
resource I have played is standoff.
Yeah.
Ongoing, whenever a player plays a non-ongoing plot twist, he loses 2 endurance. You should flip if you like.
Yeah, non-ongoing plot twist. I get pinged for 2. Yeah, boy. I don't know. It's not gonna flip anything now. Oy. Are you formed?
Yes.
I will recruit Cyclops. Cyclops is a leader. He does not have Energize. He has Activate. Stun target character with cost less than or equal to the number of characters adjacent to Cyclops.
Oh.
Used only during the combat phase.
Well, I suppose I get to hit you really hard.
That is quite possible.
I'm going to attack Ms. Cooper.
Yep, that's the correct play for sure. Going to contemplate. Must math a little bit here. Luther is going to start to be a real issue. Not psyched about that. I think
Can I confess? I've never had him to turn 5.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The KO was clutch. Getting rid of Richter surprisingly is consequential, even just for the 2 extra attack, because of your growing character. And while I too have a character that has been growing, it is much more expensive for me to grow my character than for you to grow yours. So, your attack is 8. Your defense is 6. I think I'm gonna give myself a counter and then take a bunch of damage. Your attack is 8. My defense is 5. So I take 3 break. I take 4 damage. I guess it's not massive. That will of course stun Terran.
Might start hitting Forge. I really don't want to.
Yep. I'm trying to make that the choice that you have to take so I can get rid of Forge and have him stop being a liability, but it'll be annoying for 1 turn.
Kyle, this is S tier. Man up. We're just 42 to 45. Come on, what's going on here?
This is a weird game. Weird game.
So I will put 4 cards from my deck into my hand.
And I will put 2 cards from my deck into my hand.
And my hand from my deck into my KO pile in the bottom.
my KO pile.
Or something like that.
Real good.
So these I want. These I want. I want them all. Can I keep them all?
Want them all.
It's going to be this. That's interesting. The irony is I didn't get that, but I got something almost as good.
That is ironic. That character is really good, but so is that other character. What the hell do I do? Here's my initiative. Boy, that's really going to matter.
Actually, let me think. That might change what I do. Does it? Does it?
May I recruit?
Yeah.
So,
Although I'm reserving the right to change which card I just put on the bottom of my deck. As though I am still in my draw phase, if I may.
sure. Well, I'll tell you what. I will wait, since technically you have to do that first. I was thinking you at the resource point, but the card on the bottom of your deck may be consequential. So take a moment to...
Fascinating.
contemplate
I'm
that.
interested to see how that is so.
Well, it depends on your cards as much as mine.
So, were I not to do that, so clearly I can't choose the wine before me.
The wine before me. That's a reference to something somewhere. Jesus.
This might be the right choice.
I enjoy that your deck is making you make difficult decisions. That is amusing.
The alternative is that for that, and it's not that good
True?
because it costs me that.
Very true.
All right, I think I have chosen.
You have chosen. You are satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to recruit M. Whenever M defends, you may remove all defenders from this attack. If you do, target non-stunned, non-defending character you control becomes a defender. I'm actually going to form
Huh.
like this.
You know, it's funny. I never attack M because she's annoying for that reason. You use her to redirect to your energized characters. That makes sense.
She's really cool,
Yeah.
but it's never mattered
Right,
ever
right,
because
right.
you never attack M because
Right.
of that power. I will form thusly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well,
There's a sort of thing I'm hoping not to see, but we'll see if I see it.
you're gonna see it.
Oh boy.
There's a million cards in my hand, and none of them are 5-drop. So I've got to go with Atomic Skull and Professor Emil Hamilton.
It's good play.
Professor Emil Hamilton's power is Vengeance. Whenever Professor Emil Hamilton becomes stunned, I may KO a resource I control. If I do, search my deck for an ongoing plot twist card, reveal it, and put it face down into my resource row. Atomic Skull's power is reveal a Revenge Squad character card from my hand, stun target character if its cost is less than the number of ongoing plot twists I control, Use this power only during your attack step and only once a turn.
Indeed.
And actually, I probably need to do something like that.
That ain't bad. Alrighty. Alrighty. Now you have more characters than I do.
I do, which means that toy soldiers will be in effect.
It's +1/+1 for everyone?
Just attackers.
Just attackers. Okie doodle. Well, yeah, that's pretty legit. My options are to stun Terraman, which I will do immediately,
Right?
and then I must attack Atomic Skull.
Right. And that is your only character with a flight, which is why you did it that way.
It is, and it's kind of annoying.
I will reinforce Atomic Skull with President Luther.
Oh, can you read me? I don't think this is going to affect anything. Can you read me Hamilton's power again? Vengeance, something.
Whenever Professor Emil Hamilton becomes stunned, I may KO a resource I control. If I do, search my deck for an ongoing plot twist card, reveal it, and put it face down into my resource row.
That's good.
I'm thinking what card I would get that would improve my lot.
Good question. Good question.
And how I would get it.
Also a good question.
I could always use more standoffs.
You certainly are not without options. Most of the cards in that deck are somehow useful.
Oh, when could I have used an Evil Star's Evil Clutches? I might have been able to futz with that. I won't rewind it. But...
Oh, does that strip flight?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I could have used it, but it's fine. I feel this is a reasonable fight, even having missed that.
Fair enough.
I
mean, that could be pretty consequential.
No, it's fine.
Fair enough.
Because what I do is I use an Evil Star's Evil Clutches to return a face down? How does it work? Face down resource I control to owner's hand. Strip flight from somebody will say, now I strip flight from him, because why not? Put a card from my hand face down into my resource row. Professor Emil Hamilton will attack Cyclops. The card I have put in my resource row, of course, is the Graveyard of Solitude, which I will activate to give target Revenge Squad attacker I control +1 attack for each ongoing plot twist I control, which is 4. So my attack is
Large.
9.
Yeah, that's pretty significant. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, 9. That's gonna work. Going to be counter-stunned.
Yep.
Which, of course, is fine. Hamilton is totally expendable in this circumstance. So the question is, do I use Valerie Cooper to get Metallo? In turn, I would then have to choose losing a character with a mountain of counters, Cyclops. Or do I reinforce? We still have Metallo. I think I just have to let it fly. So I will take 3 breakthrough, 4 for the stun. That's 7, 9, 35.
Alright. You made the right choice, and I'll explain in a moment.
Indeed.
Whenever Professor Emil Hamilton becomes stunned, you may KO a resource you control. If you do search your deck for an ongoing plot twist card, reveal it and put it face down into your resource row. I will, of course, go get another Death of Superman.
Oh, interesting.
I will then activate Metallo
To get rid of
to KO
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Ouch.
And that other
Damn.
thing that I don't care about, we won't even bother with it.
Yup. Well, that's something you did. That is something you did.
Felt good about that play.
That's a good play, man. Interesting.
I'm gonna lose a lot of my team this turn, though. Especially if you pursue here, which it sounded like you were going to do.
Well, now I got to think about it because it's a predicament. At the point where, depending on how ham I go, you're really giving up some stuff. All your characters are still +1/+1, but only while attacking.
Correct.
Is there any defensive stat buff that is in play at the moment?
Nope.
Boy, oh boy. May we live in risky times.
All right, good night, Casey. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night, Casey. Boy, this is...
I always check the timestamps because they might have said that stuff a long time before I noticed.
Yep.
That was only a minute or so ago.
Yeah. Man, you've done some nutty plays. So how do I go forward here? How do I go forward here? Oh, that's so bad. There's no way that's gonna work. There's no way. I have to try, or I'm just up shit creek. Forge is going to attack Metallo.
By himself?
All by himself.
You do know I have Stenov in play. Just
Which is... Tell me again.
it pings you for 2 for every non-ongoing plot twist you
I
play.
know. It doesn't matter. I have to use them.
All right.
We're going to
Are
play...
you're going to go for my team?
I am.
That's amazing.
It's going to cost me a lot. So I'm going to play Vocal Minority, which immediately deals me... It's 2 damage? Okay, 2 damage. Target X Factor attacker gets +3 attack. This attack, I will choose Forge. I may also discard up to 2 cards, and that attacker gets an additional +2 attack for each card discarded this way. I'm going to discard at least 1 card, and I need to think about if I want to do 2. So right now, I would be 1 over you. 5 attack, your defense is 6. What are the odds that you have 2 defense on defense in your hand? That would require probably 2 Metallos, knowing that deck.
Probably. Not with certainty.
Not
but
with
probably.
certainty. Do I need these cards? Maybe. We'll leave it at that for now. So that power is done. I'm +5 attack.
Okay.
We'll see if that successfully resolves.
Yep, it's good. I will take 5. You will also take 5 in addition to whatever you're stuck with.
+5 is 7. We at 26. It is to you.
I will pass. I
Then
straight up don't even counter Valerie. That's hilarious.
that's why the forge hit
Yeah.
was so critical. Is I'm
That's a
1
good
ahead
one.
of you on defense.
So I will take 3. That'll work. And I have lost my team.
I'm still not confident going forward
You
with you
shouldn't
having
be.
initiative.
You
I
shouldn't
know
be.
what's coming.
Well, I'm even going to keep the 2 drop because it's obnoxious.
Yep. I thought you might. But I'm still going to draw some cards.
And I'll remember to strip your flight this time.
That's fair.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't actually know how... Yeah. I think that's going to make the game more interesting. That would have been pretty devastating if we rewound to that.
I agree.
But we'll see if this
Okay.
allows me to make it out of this.
This is the choice.
Can you please read me the pinging card again real quick?
Ongoing, whenever a player plays a non-ongoing plot twist, he loses 2 endurance. I will, of course, be recruiting Brainiac 2.5,
Of course.
who is a cosmic character. His cosmic power is Activate. KO target character with a cost less than or equal to the number of ongoing plot twists you control. Uses power only during your attack step.
That means I will recruit. It's KO. It's straight KO.
It's just
Oh,
KO.
God, that's so brutal. Interesting. That's sort of sad. Yeah. An atomic skull is stun.
Correct.
I'm going to recruit Quicksilver and Richter. Remember Richter. Richter is activate to gain life equal to the number of activated powers in play, which is currently...
I have 1.
And I have 2, because Richter does count himself, so it would be 3 life should I activate it. Quicksilver's power is, characters I control have reinforcement while he is ready. He does also have energize. And I guess informed.
Well, I will reveal Terraman. I will do it to stun Quicksilver.
Yep. That was a 4.
I'm going to attack Richter. I'm going to strip fight for him.
Sure. I am going to...
Actually, I'm not going to do that yet. Declare your attacks when you get your initiative,
When it is my initiative,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I will choose whether to strip.
Right, so you've not potentially stripped flight yet. Okay,
Correct.
that's fair. I'll of course exhaust him to gain 3. So I'm to 25. And then I'm gonna take a lot of damage. Your attack is,
As printed.
as printed, 11. So I reduce that by 1. I would take 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 it is. 15.
Something's amiss. Did you take your stun damage for the 5 drop? You're higher than I expected you to be.
For 5 drop?
4 drop. Sorry.
4 drop. I believe so. I
Okay.
started the
Maybe it's the
turn
+3 life, and that's all.
at... I don't remember.
It's fine.
We can review. I think I did, but maybe I did not. Yeah, I mean, I've got to attack your dude with M and Valerie.
Yep. I will deal the damage to M.
Yep.
I'm going to remove flight from.
That's terrifying.
Atomic Skull's going to hit you with it. Graveyard of Solitude. Hit
Jeez.
Forge.
Right. Well, I'm gonna put a counter on. Actually, I can put them on stunned characters, so I get to do 2. Question is, who do I think I'm gonna keep? Boy, that's so much freaking damage. Yeah.
You can put them on him. Soak some of the damage.
I actually cannot. He must put them on another character. So if I
Never
play him
mind.
on 2 by himself, he doesn't get to put any counters on anyone. It's probably either Quicksilver or Cooper.
Friggin' Quicksilver.
What's that?
I said friggin' Quicksilver.
Yeah. Quicksilver is useful, but M has flight, which is also useful. Boy, I'm in a predicament. Gotta put him somewhere.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all. Yep. Let's do a little diversification. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure I got a snowball's chance here, but we'll see. Maybe turn 7 will go exceptionally my way. And then I take a lot of damage.
7 was my attack.
7. I take 7. I got 3. I gained 3 from Richter. Yay, Richter!
Kept you in this game.
Thanks, Richter. Alright, well. Jeez, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. If you don't draw characters or have characters, I'll be okay. Also, I need to not have anyone get stunned. That's going to be really, really difficult. We'll do this. I've got Polaris. She's a 6-drop. She says activate, discard an X Factor or Starjammer's character card to exhaust target character at the cost of 5 or less. She also has flight range and energize.
I've got a different Brainiac.
Oh, that's GG.
Discard a character card. Target attacker or defender gets -1 defenses attack for each ongoing plot twist you control. Use only once per turn.
Yep, well, I need you to miss a drop. We don't even play that close.
I drew a bunch of cards early. Wasn't gonna-
It's true. It's true.
I mean, I suppose if I didn't have a 7, I would have been going to probably a 4 and a 2.
Yep. As much as Cyclops was helping me with Terraman, Cyclops does not scale. Your 6-drop and your 2-drop does. And to be fair, I lost that game 3 turns ago. You just didn't rewind the half a second.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
I do think, I think I said before, notwithstanding Outsiders, which is I think is an exceptional case, I think that's probably the hardest deck to deal with. Because you can't keep ahead of it. You need a 2-drop and a 6-drop on 6 with initiative, and I'm just SOL.
I do have to do interesting things to make it work, though, so I enjoy playing it.
Sure.
And it is, I think it is my most powerful deck.
Yep, it's real rough. It definitely is one of those decks where it does its thing, and whatever I do doesn't matter. So I just kind of have to somehow stay ahead of its power curve, because
Well,
if
you
you do
made
the
some
thing...
smart play. Like, you
Yep.
playing for Luther was important,
Yep,
I think.
yep.
Or my team. You got my entire... You got 5 of my characters that turn.
No, I did some cool stuff. I definitely, played the S deck, I feel, well enough to make it interesting, for at least part of it. But when you get Atomic Skull in your 6-drop, especially if you do have initiative on 6, it's really, I don't know if I've ever come back from that, unless I've had a huge lead prior, which this game I did. Because the ability to just take out 2 of my characters is so huge. It's so huge.
Well, I probably won't have, in most circumstances, Atomic Skull by 6.
Yeah. I feel like it happens a lot because the right choice is often to keep it.
Well,
If you've got 6 ongoings.
right.
You've got 6. If you've got even 5, it's worth it because it's equal to, right?
No. Atomic Skull is not.
Atomic Skull's less than. Okay. So if you've successfully fleshed it out with ongoing plot twists, then it's usually worth it. And in that game, again, keeping him was absolutely the right choice, even at the expense of cards like Metallo, because then you
that's
just
an
get
easy
5 and
choice.
6. Yeah. Wow, I am really sleepy, but we should play our last game.
We should. I agree.
But I just had the sleeps hit pretty hard.
Well,
Yep, thank you,
took off
Chris.
too. We missed him probably by about 4 minutes.
4 minutes, that's not too
Goodbye,
bad.
Chris, in the past.
Goodbye, past Chris.
It was fun.
So
Hey,
the
I know
last
what's coming
deck
next,
is
yeah.
A.
Hey!
Hey.
No one was around to hear that.
Rachel might have heard it. Rachel, did you hear it?
Huh?
Nope is the answer.
What?
That was funny. We were just making odd sound effects and wondering if you heard them.
You didn't.
She did. It was great.
Yeah, all my decks are unfaced. I don't know what happened. I thought it was a little more.
Alrighty.
Is this unfaced? What's going on? I think I've worn them in enough that it's not obvious
Right.
by feeling
Right.
how they're oriented, which I think is a good thing. But it means
Yup.
that I occasionally unface them, and by occasionally it seems invariably
Yep.
that I do that. Using evil stars, evil clutches to put a graveyard and solitude in place that I can attack with a meal and KO it to get a KO card, and that was
Yeah.
fun. I like that play.
That was a really good play. The graveyard for Emil was nuts. That was a very intricate play. I had got to give you credit for that one. Because you had to not only know to have graveyard face down, but that you were acknowledging that you're going to use it only once, and that you are going to attack my bigger character up with it, get him stunned to replace the very card. Like, you turned Graveyard of Solitude into a plot twist that says, get +5 damage, and then search for a card to put in your resource row, which is pretty epic. I almost feel like the two most annoying cards are Atomic Skull and Evil Stars, Evil Clutches. Evil Stars,
Well,
Evil Clutches
you
is so
really
frustrating.
hate. I didn't get it that game. You hate the executive privilege.
Which one is that?
I think
is
it's
that
something
the-
like
the
draw,
top two?
You reveal the
Yeah.
top 2 cards of your deck, put a revealed character and a revealed ongoing plot twist into your hand.
I don't like that one either. I mean, it's always rough to deal with such a reliable card draw. But this time you may roll a die.
That's true. It's my first time tonight.
Fond memories.
I shall choose the inner die. I think I won.
You did.
This is a very technical deck that I don't really remember how to play. But I think I keep this. It looks like a reasonably good opening hand.
I will keep mine, and we will see what
There's
transpires.
one important thing missing.
Yeah. I feel that.
There's plenty of time to get that, right?
Plenty.
What did I say I won? Did I say I won anything?
You might have said evens. Does that sound right?
I intended to go evens, but I don't know if I said it.
Let's act like you said. Because that's what I vaguely remember.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
I got like the caffeine just was done. Just like 20
Game
minutes
over,
ago. It was
man.
like,
I was sleepy when we started. I think this is going to be a low energy stream.
that's okay.
I was having trouble telling stories at the beginning.
We've had some fun use of the English language, so it's hard to complain too heavily. So you and evens, I do have a 1-drop.
Whoa.
I have Dagger.
Whoa.
Dagger has discard Dagger, search your deck for a card named Midnight Suns, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, use only while she's in your hand. She also has Activate, put her in your hand. She's a 1/1 with range. There was a trailer that I saw that was so bad I thought it might be fake for a Cloak and Dagger show, but I don't think it's fake. It just is like Cloak and Dagger.
Show coming. I've
Twilight.
got Dawn Granger. When Dawn Granger is team attacking,
Knows.
attackers get +1 attack.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'll take her for 1.
Take 1. So will you, I think.
2. But yeah, the trailer was like Cloak and Dagger mixed with Twilight, and so it was really, really awful. I feel that.
So given that, what do I do?
Your initiative to boot.
You are playing X-Men. You have a lot of small characters. I might,
have many small characters.
I might lose this.
You know I have at least one small character.
Yes. I need to get ahead, but I don't have the piece I need to get ahead.
Sweet, that'll show you.
Which is going to cause so much trouble. I'd hope to draw into it, but it's not here.
Good try.
So I can play a stall play, but if I get too far behind in the character game, it's going to be bad.
These are the situations we face.
Well, it's so bad. It's bad. I'm going to recruit Natasha Romanoff.
Natasha Romanoff.
The Black Widow.
You should reach her power.
When Natasha Romanoff is team attacking, whenever she stuns a defender, I may stun target character, with cost 3 or less. That would be really super cool right now.
I do not have a 2-drop.
Wow, that worked! Huzzah! I'm going to attack you with Natasha Romanoff.
Yep. Yeah. That'll work. I'll take 3.
I'll even counterstop, then I'll attack you for 1.
I'll take another one.
Oh boy, I got lucky there.
In a manner of speaking.
What? This is not how cards are distributed.
You tell it. Preach.
Nonsense. Nonsense.
So, I do another dagger. I'm going to discard her to search for that card.
That card?
The card for which she searches.
Oh, she only searches for 1 card?
Only one. It's called Midnight Suns, which I will search
Oh,
for.
this is not your X-Men deck. Oh! This is Big Damn Electra, I think.
Damn Electra.
Big Damn Electra. You named it.
That seems like a thing I would have named it. You may cut away. And I am going to recruit Daredevil. Daredevil has pay 2 endurance. He gets +2 attack. This attack, used only once per turn.
Okay. I will be recruiting Jarvis.
Jarvis!
Whenever Jarvis becomes a defender, I may return him to owner's hand. If I do, search my deck for an Avengers character card, reveal it, and put it into my hand, and shuffle my deck.
Avengers character card. Whenever he becomes a defender.
Yes.
Let's see. I think Dagger is going to attack Dawn Granger. For 1.
I'll take 1.
Me too.
That's how I needed that to go. Thank you, Kyle.
You are welcome.
You fell into my trap.
Sweet. Oh, because you could have that thing.
I've got legendary battles.
Yep, I wasn't thinking.
While team attacking this turn, Avengers characters I control get
So
+1
good.
attack and cannot be stunned. Also, I have a playroom.
Oh, God.
Whenever a defender is stunned by 1 or more Avengers team attackers you control, the defender's controller loses 4 endurance.
Oh, this is going to be a slippery slope of a game.
And then I stun.
Wasn't thinking. Thought about going for Jarvis for a while, and then I'm like, no, I don't. But what's weird about it is I didn't even math it. Like, I'm like, oh, well, if he's too low, they can't get Daredevil. And you can. So I'm tired.
I purposely tried to make it unclear what a decent play would be. In
No,
that
I mean,
circumstance.
yeah, I was not thinking.
You probably should have attacked
Oh, Jarvis.
Jarvis with Daredevil.
Is that true? I wanted to use Dawn because I didn't want... It needed to be Dawn, because what I needed to do is prevent you from being able to team attack and still have
with
my
Dagger?
big guy. left.
dagger.
So yeah, I attack Jarvis with dagger is the correct play. Which I thought about for a long time, and then I somehow thought I had 6 defense with Daredevil, which I don't, because he only boosts his attack.
Yeah. Well, we might be at a concede point even. We'll see.
We'll see what you got. Oh, if you've got
I do have
crazy-
Ms. Carol Danvers.
Oh Lord, that's real bad.
Whose power
Boy, I
is
effed up last turn.
while Carol Danvers is team attacking, whenever she stuns a defender with cost 5 or less, return that defender to its owner's hands.
So bad.
It's pretty bad.
So bad.
Before I forget, I'm going to team up. As an additional cost to play Generations. Oh yeah, that's right. This is the card that doesn't have the same title as its text. The card is called Generation Next, and the text is, as an additional cost to play Generations. Choose 2 different team affiliations among characters you control. I'm going to cross them over. I may exhaust a Teen Titans character I control, and characters I control have flight and range this turn.
It's legit. I will recruit. Oh, you can exhaust to get flight range. Boy, I sure did screw up last turn. I'll recruit the Masked Marauder. Masked Marauder has, whenever he becomes stunned, KO him if you don't control another Crime Lord's character. He also has pay 3 endurance, exhaust target character, use only during your attack step. And I do force him to team up. Because this would short with dagger.
Yep. Cyrus gives flight and range to everybody. Everybody else attacks your big guy. Danvers will bounce him. Romanov will stun your little guy.
Oh, because you flannered there, yeah.
And he will take an additional 4.
Yep. No, I'm fine.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
too sleepy to play this game. So I take 4 for the stun, 3 for the other stun, 4 for the next stun. And I guess I stun Carol back. You didn't have another legendary
Yeah,
battle.
that's fine.
Take that. Lord, you're at 44. Sure wish I was playing the X-Men deck.
I was very worried.
Drawing cards.
Is Dagger an X-Man?
She is.
Was she ever an X-Man?
Dazzler is. an
Dazzler,
X-Men.
that must be what
Yeah,
I'm thinking of.
yeah. Is there anything I can do to fight back in this scenario? I think this is a really bad matchup too. I can concede.
Okay.
I don't have flight in this deck, so like I just can't ever do anything.
Fair enough.
Oi.
What is it? 15-minute game?
Yep.
You sound pretty tired. Otherwise, I'd
Pretty
suggest
deep.
that we play another.
That was it was a terrible misplay, and I don't actually think it would have mattered. Well, maybe it would have, because then I would have gotten. It might not have mattered. I just think it was a real bad matchup. 'Cause
No,
I rely
it
on-
absolutely. I did not have a team up at that point. So you attacked the only character that I could.
Well, what do I save by it though? Because I take out Jarvis. Did you have your team up by the end?
No, not by. Well, by that turn, by the
Right.
previous turn, yes.
Because on that turn, the only thing that changes is I attack Jarvis. Maybe you pop him, maybe not.
I
So you
probably
can't hit-
pop him because I can't team attack. So he makes.
So I would stun your 2 characters. You would still keep Black Widow, and then the next turn you recruit Danvers, and we're kind of back to where we are because you just team attack and do the exact same thing, and I'm still ruined and I can't stop it.
Right. Only you can't get the counters done that time. I have fewer characters.
Right.
I don't have flight and range.
You have range, not flight. I guess.
Well,
you're saying you don't.
I
have
probably
flight.
exhaust-
Yeah, it's tougher.
I probably.
That's true.
The weird thing is, I exhaust
I could have played somebody in protect.
Dawn. I exhaust Dawn to give flight and range
Right.
to everybody instead of Jarvis.
Right.
But I had 3 player rooms in my resource row.
So actually, yeah, the correct play to ensure, the reason, I remember now, the reason that I attacked Dawn was because if I attacked Jarvis, all you have to do to stay ahead in the game is you don't pop him to your hand. Because it's when he's attacked, right?
Yes.
So you don't pop him, and I've wasted my Dawn attacker, and I can't get to your character in the back row. We would have been exactly the same spot. I couldn't do anything. It was still a misplay, because you got to do a little more on that turn, but the whole board advantage would have swung just as heavily.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I think one of the primary weaknesses of decks that has like few big characters is they're all based around like I'm bigger than your on-curve
No,
characters.
I have to. So, there's no reason not to pop Jarvis.
Well, there's absolutely a reason because if you
I can't stun your other character without Jarvis.
but I stun your whole team and you're down Jarvis if you don't. Like, if you pop Jarvis, the next thing that happens is I will stun your like.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right.
So you actually maintain the character.
So I would have played that wrong then, probably.
Perhaps so. I think, yeah, but that was probably the reason I cycled around. I was probably a little too hard on myself for it as a misplay, because the whole reason I did it the way I did is I'm like, okay, and I mean, I did do some really bad math where somehow I looked at the 4 and thought it was a 6. That was pretty bad. Like, I thought I had 6 defense, and I have no idea why I thought that. So when you played Legendary Battles, I'm like, shit, I should have accounted for that. That gets your attack to 6. And I looked down at Daredevil, who has 4 defense, and I'm like, oh, that didn't matter. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what play I had. I might not have had a play. Because if I go for Jarvis, I mean, I guess I could have done the one that required you to do more thinking and counted on the fact you were tired, but I was too tired to think of that. It was a weird game. That's a real bad matchup, though. I think the giant characters decks are very, very weak to true team attack decks, because team attack decks like buff stuff across the board, and you've got too many targets, and I'm relying on attacking only once or twice and punching through.
Here's the argument you're making, and I think it's a foolish argument. Team attack decks are only good at on-curve decks. You're basically arguing that on-curve decks are bad matchups for team attack decks.
On curve.
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter that your characters are big or not. It's the same either way.
No, I mean, I
like if you were also KOing your characters or something, you could make that argument. But
I guess I would
particularly.
say that the on-curve ones usually do something else, and that the something else can usually equalize. Like, the thing you do is you've got a bunch of little characters and they synergize. And the thing I do in this case is my characters are bigger, and so it should cost you stuff to engage with them, which in a team attack deck it doesn't necessarily. And that particular one is also doubly effective because of the nature of the team attacking powers it has. So, like, you look at, I guess the thing my deck does, which is be slightly bigger, is negated by the thing you do. But conversely, against an on-curve deck, if the thing that I do as an on-curve deck is I'm just on-curve, then my deck doesn't have a thing, right? So, like, there's no fallback to me if you pop big characters, because I don't have plot twists to do much of anything. There's no plan B, which is the nature of an A deck, I suppose. And that might be a weak A deck. I tend to stray away from team attack decks. I just wanted to get that Electra thing going, but I do think... And you'd seem to draw well.
It was okay. It could have been better. I would have rather played a 3-drop.
What'd you play on 3?
Jarvis.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, God, that's true. I guess I missed 2. Had I not missed 2, that would have been better. Yeah. But I missed it.
If I had my team up on that turn, I was in pretty good shape already.
That's true. With your initiative on 2. That's true. That
but
is
I
so.
did not.
Yeah, I think this deck has lost a bit more than it's won, but I still think it's okay to play.
It's scary. I think it's a reasonable A deck.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just got so tired. I don't understand. I think I've been running on fumes all week, to be entirely honest.
That's how it goes.
And as I mentioned, I did get off the crunch for our those watching on YouTube, since our immediate viewers left. I had commented to you earlier that there were a couple of nights last week where I was up, into the AM time frame, and this week was high intensity. Not ours as crazy as that by any stretch at all, but it was still like a very high intensity. Like, this was okay, we're done crunching, and I work on a live game, so what happens after you crunch is you still have to be very, very high energy for like a week after, so you can catch back up to your regular cadence features.
I tell you every time you talk about your job, I think the pace you guys go for is crazy.
It's pretty nutty.
And you have You have so much. I'm going to throw a real industry term here.
Mm.
You have so much technical debt.
Oh, our technical debt is terrible. It's real bad. Though we've kind of acknowledged it, and I think we're actually going to start doing some chip away just over the next month or two. We're allocating some resources.
And I don't know how to fix it. Like, if I were in a position at your company where I were to make technical decisions, I would do something nutty, like say, like, fuck off, we're not doing anything for like 3 months.
Right.
We need to fix this shit because
it's real bad.
Every short window you're trying to get something done in is made that much worse by the fact that your processes are clumsy.
Yep. Totally. No, it's bad, and I do think.
And of course,
yeah.
they would say, "No, you're fired. We need this money."
Yep. Yep. No, that's a very accurate synopsis. I actually feel like, to be honest, there was a right time, maybe when the game was at its absolute peak, to even just 1 month could clean up so much, like with a full dev team working at it in parallel. But we actually are seriously going to be doing some optimizations and some pipeline work.
You should be, and you might get flack for this. Like, you should be having the discussion: how can we design events, content, whatever, that has a little more legs to it, so we can spread this out a little bit to cover the, to try to make up this technical.
Now, it's actually very funny. That's a challenge that I've wrestled with a bit, and we're actually working on some systems, and I will be vague on a matter of principle. Because there's unannounced stuff, but we have some plans.
Nobody on Earth knows the game you're working on, Kyle.
That is fair. It's actually shocking how many players we have, and I say that not because of the nature of our game per se, but it's simply,
hey,
6 or 7 year old
YouTube viewers, you guys remember Facebook games? It was a thing like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Kyle's working on one.
Yep. Yeah, it's novel. No, it's funny. But we started a master scheme / plan way back in October of last year, where we are trying to put ourselves in a situation that empowers us to address some of those larger problems while meeting the criteria set forth of stay in business. And it's a hell of a juggling act, and it's certainly not going flawlessly. We've absolutely made some missteps along the way, but I think we've done a lot more right than wrong, and it's a non-trivial challenge to do with a game that's been around this long. And so I feel good about it, but it's always, there's this juggling act of like, you're trying to keep the boat afloat, and some of that is we talk about revenue, some of it's player base. There's a lot of factors that play into what, you're trying to not accrue more technical debt. Like there's a lot of factors, or data creep, and we actually have real data creep problems in the game's back end. So it's like we're trying to juggle all these things, but get the game into a position where we can afford. We're trying to better long-term planning, I guess. It's a bizarre situation, and certainly when I got on the game, it came with a lot of baggage, and I'm really happy with the trajectory, given all of the factors. But if those factors weren't there, I probably wouldn't be happy with the trajectory, if that makes sense. It's sort of like, given our obstacles, we're doing all right, and we're heading in a good direction, but boy, it's a lot of obstacles I wish we didn't have at all. Games industry.
I mean, that's things like that. Bug engineers. That's the type of stuff we like to eliminate.
Yep. No.
Inefficiencies. We don't like them.
It's true. I'm not keen on them.
Inefficiencies of workflow.
Yep. For sure. No, we're actually. Yes. Yes. I have. Other engineers have expressed that feeling, and we're going to be working on it for sure. I'm excited. I'm excited to be working on it. I really, really deeply love the team I'm working with right now. I'm actually quite impressed by the people I'm working with.
We, Other Ocean, are probably going to do that thing where we sign too many friggin' projects again soon. So
that's fun.
If you're an engineer in the Bay Area, give me a call. Or if you're an engineer not in the Bay Area, give me a call.
Yep, via his phone number.
Get in touch with me
somewhere.
Somehow. Mm-hmm. Like, comment, and subscribe.
I think that's a good closing note.
We'll be on normal time next week. 8:30-ish?
Yeah. Ish.
Next Friday?
It's always ish.
The 7th, the premiere of Spider-Man And the Castlevania cartoon
Oh.
on Netflix.
Okay. Yeah, no, okay.
All right, we'll
That's
see you all
fine.
next week.
Great. Have a good night and a great holiday, everyone.